Hello, everybody. Welcome back again to another live stream. My name is Efren Luna with the Cultural Alliance of Long Beach and also with Art, Music, and Culture. This is our 11th, I believe, 11th or 12th. I think it's 11. Yes, our 11. In any case, it'll be on the description. 11th week doing live art, live art guided class via live stream on Facebook. So today we're going to continue our project from last week. As you can see on the background, I have several artworks that we've done, through the last 11 weeks. I'm not going to go into detail about them, but you can see them on the background. All of them were done here, during this stay at home. The last few months, starting mid-March. Here's my Venmo at Efren Luna. If you if you'd like to donate a little bit here, not necessary, but really, really appreciate it. So before I get into it, I just want to say something and let you know. Pretty much like today, I was not gonna do the class. I was pretty bummed out about what's happening, with the racial inequality, like with the police brutality situation. Having myself been, in situations where I felt like I was mistreated because of, just because of, my race, I'm not going to get too much into that, but I was pretty much bummed that situation was bumming me out. I wasn't going to do this. But you know what? I found the courage and I said, you know what? Let's continue on. Let's, after all, we're doing something positive, right? And we have to carry that energy. I was talking to my daughter about the situation and kind of explaining to her how, we can do better as humans, and we can teach that to our children, to care for each other, and pretty much to teach love as opposed to hate. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. So here's our image of our reference. We did take a photo, and this was inspired by Jonathan and Jessica, father and daughter, who were cleaning the beach at this very location. So we decided to use their background as an inspiration for our painting that we started last week. So this image right here is of one of the islands in Long Beach. One of the islands in Long Beach, petroleum islands. They're man-made islands, fake islands, however you want to call them. But they look really pretty. In the night, they have very beautiful lights. I'll show you guys some pictures. Maybe we'll do a night version of this in the future. We'll see. In any case, this is our painting, and let me show you what we have as far as the drawing. I'll put it this way. Can you put the camera down here, please? And let's see. So this is what we have right now, as far as what we have in progress. We have this drawing and partly painted. The drawing depicts the island right here. I actually made it larger than my reference. So this is my reference, right? You can see it's smaller. It should be smaller if I want it to be precise, but I wanted to enlarge it to create a more interesting painting. That was just a choice. All right, so this is our drawing. Actually, I'll leave it here for a little more, and I'm sharing this link as we speak, so bear with me, guys. I'm trying to share this to other groups. Share it if you want. If you want to support, you think someone out there might find it helpful. By the way, this video is also. They also stay for you to review and watch at your own time, at a later time. So that's one of the good things about doing this Facebook Live. You can also jump on the chat and make your comment or suggestion or things like that. All right, so let's see. So I'm just sharing this before we get started real quick here. Yep, so I'm sharing this on the Cultural Alliance, the Long Beach Facebook page, the Art, Music, and Culture Facebook page. By the way, we have an Instagram for both of those. You can follow Calb Arts or at Calb Arts on Instagram, and at Art, Music, and Culture, the word "and," right? Art, Music, and Culture at Instagram. You can follow those. We make announcements there for like upcoming events, or or just show like pictures of progress. We try to keep our arts and music education program going. All right, so let me talk about the painting here. So as you can see, I did the sky very light, and you can see from the picture it is lighter, right? The ocean water is darker, and then it gets a little lighter, maybe darker on this side, and then we have this sand color, right? All right, let's see. So you can see the pencil drawing that we did. It's still visible. I painted like very light or see-through with water, with plenty of water, so you can see the drawing. I didn't want to lose the drawing because first of all, the sky wasn't that dark from the picture, and then if I did go darker, I would lose the drawing. So that's one of the things I wanted to keep in mind. In fact, let me color in or draw in my kind of work on my drawing a little more, just kind of make it darker, These little lines right here are the palm trees. This is all going to be painted. So one of the things I mentioned is to use shapes. So little squares, little rectangles, lines, right? This foundation is like a wall of rocks. So I just made like little random circles. With the brush, they're gonna change. Like the drawing's gonna change pretty much. So anyway, so this is the ocean starts to get dark and light. This was a challenge. I had to let it dry because when I try to apply the texture parts, it didn't seem to I was kind of wiping out the paint. So this will be our second layer for the top parts, and then maybe our first layer for the first part. So we'll just have to see how that goes, and and take it from there. So bear with me, guys. I'm just still sharing these links as we speak before I actually get into the painting part. And then let's see. Yada, can you bring me the this frame that I have down here so I can show? While I share the link, I want to talk about one of the things that. Go ahead and point that camera to this image. I'll just put it this way, and maybe I don't know if you can see that. This is a frame. So I framed some of the leftover drawings. This was my color. I guess color. What do we call this? What's the term? You had to help me out. Color scheme. So before you decide to paint your sculptures, your paper mache sculptures, you make a little color scheme, right, and see if you want those colors. I didn't end up with the exact same colors, but it did help me actually bring the shark to kind of show what I'm talking about. So I chose cool colors, so this drawings helped me select a color scheme. So I'll show you the shark. All right, so you can see I actually kept the idea of the outline. I actually did keep that idea, and let's see, I'm almost done sharing the link, guys, so bear with me. So you can see I put green on the sides and then light blue. So by no means like, you know, I don't think this is a realistic color, but I wanted to kind of personalize it, and that's what I try to encourage you guys when you guys do art, to personalize your art. You know, that's part of the creative process, right? You can learn to do realistic things if that's your goal, you know. And we integrate a little bit of that here, but we really emphasize we really try to emphasize, you know, the expression part of the art. All right, folks, so here you go. Yeah, can we put this back over there? And I'll talk about the calb sign. This was pretty much just a leftover paper that I trimmed the edges, made it look straight, and this was leftover paint. And the reason why I did is because normally this drawings and this leftover paint would be thrown away. That's the, you know, a lot of artists, like, they just clean up their work, and, you know, and it's kind of tough to recycle all the leftover paint, because a lot of times it's just like very tiny pieces, or, you know, left on your palette. But you could also use that to we have comments there. All right, I'll check your comments in a few. You know, so this was pretty much like leftover stuff, you know, and I put it on a frame, and I just kind of showed you that you could actually, you know, like put that paint to use, you know, just have several papers ready to throw paint, and, you know, and let that just be like a different project, you know, like it's just an idea. So instead of like wasting paint, you save the drawings, you know. You can make a collage. Actually, so this is sort of like a collage. These were two drawings, and this is a kind of like a drawing painting that I did on paper, and then I put them together, and I have this nice frame, and it looks pretty good, right? Like, so it's an example of how we can recycle, you know, recycle paper, paint, things like that. So that goes towards our goal of like, you know, of being resourceful and saving, you know, resources, and ultimately we want to do our little bit of share to, you know, to help our planet, right? So let me take that out of the way. I didn't show this last time, so that's why I spent a little bit of time showing that. I think I'm pretty much done with sharing the links. Let me just close this and get to your comments. I'll make mine purple. Yes, Johanna's joined us. Richard Shumishu has joined us. Yayo, I believe he shared our link. Yes, make it any color you want, you know. The night version of this, I may just do that next, like, but, you know, let me catch my, how do they say, let me catch your chickens before you eat them, or something like that. Like, tend to get too ambitious, but I gotta focus on the task at hand. The photo I took of this same scene at night, it looks really great. I'll post the pictures maybe tonight and see if you guys, you know, like, it'll be a different painting. But I'm gonna keep on working on this. So now that I'm pretty much done sharing, let me share on my personal page too. That's just been bombarded with like posts about the, you know, the tragedy or the murder of George Floyd, right? And I didn't want to stay quiet, so I've been posting that like crazy. So with that, you know, so I want to honor his life too, you know, by mentioning that that those things shouldn't go on you know, like under the radar, you know, like we have to take care of each other, you know, and if we don't speak up, that means we're not taking care of each other. So so I'm finding courage to work today, you know, but you know, I'll probably talk more about this in my personal page. Those of you that are my friends, I'll probably do that maybe later tonight or whatnot. But so let me just focus on the task at hand, on the painting, you know, and All right, so the next thing I want to do, I know last time I wanted to kind of work on the water here, right? So I have to turn this my way so I can see. So dark blue. Use the paint you have. I know like sometimes we don't have all the materials we need, especially now with this, stay at home. By the way, we're in our phase 3. Thank you, Johanna. Johanna type. Thank you for bringing art, the freedom of the self-expression, and the live Facebook video stream. Thank you, Johanna. We just want to. I mean, as much as I do this for the community, I also do it for my own, health, right? And that's the advantages of the art, because art help us all, like. Art help. It's very helpful for all of us as individuals and as groups, as a society. I like to use that power of the arts to heal personally and to help others. That's why I do this. All right, so there's a green, and I just happen to mix this color, and it kind of. Dada, can you get me? Let me see. No, actually, I have a paper here that I can use for. So usually, you want to use a paper to test the paint, and this green looks pretty close to that wave, so I'm gonna take advantage. I was trying to mix like a dark blue to make the ripples on the ocean. But I ended up making this green, and I'm gonna need this green anyways because I don't have that specific color. So I'm gonna make this wave. I'll put it backwards so I can actually. You see that wave? That wave is it's like this, right? So I actually have the drawing here. I'm just gonna color that in. There you go. So actually there's a tiny wave that I caught with this picture, and this tiny wave, because the water picked up. See, the water's blue, but it's a reflection of the sky. The sky is blue, right? You see that. But the water itself is green because of the algae. The algae is not green because it's dirty. It's just like the living organisms. I mean, it is dirty, unfortunately, but the color itself is the organisms, like the algae, the plankton. That's one thing that people misinterpret from the ocean waters. The color, even river water from the river changes because of the different soils and the different, the different living organisms, in the water. So that's that. Okay, so I kind of made that. I think I might have put too much water there, but it's all right. So let's see. So if you're painting along, it's very easy. Just paint a line somewhere on the higher or the top part of the. I made this composition vertical because that's the picture or the video of the father and daughter. That was the kind of like the. That was kind of the. Let me make this green part. Kind of drawing with the brush now, just kind of following the waves. Yeah, so I chose that composition because it looks like that video. My daughter was telling me, because I know in like prior weeks I said I was gonna actually do the father and daughter, and then I started to think, wow, I do want to make if I'm gonna add them, I want to make them look good, And from the video, it's kind of blurry. And it's gonna be a challenge, and I thought, man, what did I get myself into, right? And my daughter said, "You said you were gonna draw them," and I was like, "Okay, maybe I will, but if I can get a good picture from the video," and I'm looking into it, because so far it's very blurry, like you just see figures, and I may do them, but I may not, depending on I don't want them to not look like people. or not look like them, you know, or like if I do make them, it's gonna be where it looks like at least like the action that they're doing, that's noticeable, right? I don't want them to look random. I want them to look like if they're, you know, they're there and show what they are doing, which is why we're doing this. Anyway, so let's just do the painting first and see where, you know, see how that's, you can see now that I added that green. Let me turn it. So that green it's gonna be, most of it's gonna get covered, but I will keep like the part where the wave is. And as I'm looking at the picture here, there's actually more, actually, yeah, this green is, I can use this for, you know, for, there's different, it's hard to draw backwards. Let me use my source backward, okay, there we go. I'm drawing backwards so you can see. So I'm holding my picture backwards. It's right for you, but for me it's backwards, and that's okay because I just have to copy the shapes, right? So that's kind of what I'm focusing on. Right, so we got this shape of water. Wow, this picture, the closer I look at this picture, the more interesting details I can see. All right. So Johanna or anyone else that is out there following along, notice how I made my line, kind of like horizon line, pretty high up on the canvas. I did want to emphasize the sand, so this is all the sand. So I did make it pretty high, and I did make the island like bigger than the picture. You know, yeah, I kind of wish there were more colors in this painting, but this is kind of like the sky that was in the video, right? And we'll see. We'll just have to finish it and see what it looks like. This blue is really nice too, you know. There's a little bit of green. Have a comment there, Yadi? My daughter points at the camera. Acrylic colors, correct? Yes, Johanna, we have acrylic colors. Shout out to Christina Elaine Vasquez, who has just joined us. Johanna's following along. Johanna has joined us as well. Richard Shumitsu, and everyone that's pressing like, right? As we paint live here. All right, so this green is actually the color I need, and as I get higher on the ocean water, there's like this ripples. Let me see. Okay, there we go. So, all right. So I'm gonna make this ripples, and I'm not copying every single one of them. I'm just making this shape. You know. Yeah, this is kind of like I'm creating kind of texture. We'll see. All right. Yeah, there's the camera doing okay there. Yeah, okay, good. Thank you guys for the likes, the shares. Last time my video or my camera, it stopped recording because I ran out of memory. Apparently the phones are not infinite memory, right? Just like me, I guess. I forget a lot of things that I say. But I try to do my best to honor my word, you know. So this is great. Actually, the picture I took yesterday at on the top of the bluff, looking at this island. It was at night, and there was a little bit of moonlight, but not a lot, and it was kind of like not like less than half moon, You know that moon that's like pointy on the sides, you know? Like it was bigger than a quarter, like maybe bigger than a quarter moon, just a little bit. And it was kind of like, there's clouds, you know, so it was really dark. But I used a 300-meter zoom lens, and I was able to get a lot of the colors that are at this island at night. And I have red, there's red and yellow, and I didn't see purple, but I think there might be. And there wasn't a reflection of it as usual, because the moon was not helpful. It was very dark. So I will, but I will show you the picture. It turned out really great. And that's going to be nice because we're going to have a dark, that's the next project, I think, right? Hi, Jennifer Malo, who just joined us and she's reading us. Kathy Franklin is tagged. Eric Erickson, that's Johanna tagging folks so they can watch. Thank you, Johanna, for helping to spread the word. Thank you, everyone else, for joining. Jennifer Malo, we have Richard Shumitsu, Christina Elaine Vasquez. All right, guys, so let me show you the picture. You see the picture? Right? And so that green is like going to be, mostly it's going to be covered with white because of the wave, except for where the waves picked up a little bit there. This is a really tiny wave. Like if you were standing there, this wave would not destroy you at all. If you're from Long Beach, you know that we have a water, what do we call this? A wave breaker. Let me face this towards me so I can see. So unfortunately, we don't have waves. You know, they, I don't know why they did that. I'm guessing maybe to protect those oil islands, you know. Who knows, you know. Or to protect the boats. So in essence, they stopped the natural wave from coming. And there's a lot of talk about like trying to make it back to its normal natural condition. And that hasn't happened there. So they're just studying. And you know how that goes. Okay, I'm not going to get into the politics of that right now. I'm just going to focus on the art. All right. What should I do now? Maybe I can color the island part, but I feel like maybe I should continue to fill in as much color. What happens is here's a very good advice that I think I need to say it so I can remind myself and also to help you out. So if you notice, here's the image, right? It's probably in my best interest to color in as much as I can right now from top to bottom, right? Like, and then I'll come back and add the details of whatever I'm missing. Here's the reason why. Because if I start on the details on the top, I may be too dark or too light. And when I put the color on the bottom, that's going to make everything change. See, this is very important in color theory. The colors, they change in relationship to the colors that are next to each other. So what does that mean? That means that you want to add color everywhere and slowly build it up, and you'll get a better representation. If you focus too much on one part, once you finish the other part, your colors change. It's weird, like the colors, they'll change once you add their different color next to it. If you don't believe me, just like try like different color shirts and look at the color on your face. It's gonna glow different. I don't know if maybe we should do that here. Let me see. Okay, maybe so. Point the camera towards me. Okay, and Yada's my daughter. Thank you for helping me, Yada. Okay, you see I have the spotlight pointing this way, right? Okay, do you see a reflection? Maybe it's lighter here. Yes, maybe. Okay, what? No? It's lighter over here? Okay. So watch what's going to happen. So I'm going to put this blue thing right here. Does it glow blue on this side? A little bit? No? Maybe? No? My experiment is failing. All right, well, maybe this way. How about now? Look. Nothing there? Look. Does the color of my face changes? I need a brighter paper. Okay, I'm not making a good example of what I'm talking about. But like, yeah, I can see it there on the video just a little bit. So let me see. Okay, so here. You see now my face? The color of my face changes when I... Yes? Okay. She's shaking her head now. Okay, so I guess my black cat was overtaking and making everything a shadow. But watch this. You see the color of my face? Watch this. Keep staring at my face. You see the color change? A little bit? It would work better if... bring me that red box of I know, guys, this might be boring, right? But it's important. Yeah, bring me that. Okay, bring me that. So okay, so I wasn't prepared for this not this lesson, but this this sample. So you see this red box, right? Look at the color on my face. Just stare at my face. Don't mind the box. It changed, right? Probably a lot more. Now there's a lot more colors. Watch this. There's different colors on my face, right? Watch this. So it's like magic, right? You see the colors? The different reflections. Okay, look, one more time. It's almost like I'm putting a flashlight or some kind of glowing light. Okay, thank you, Yada. So now that we saw that, okay, so hopefully that convinced you to trust me on this one. So you probably want to add the colors all the way down here, because once I add that, it's gonna affect everything. So we probably, I mean, you can ignore that and just paint, and then you'll go back and change it. But why not use something that, if you have a little bit of knowledge or something, why not use that, right? Anyway, so where's my blue? Oh, there. This last time I used fluorescent blue for the water, right? And let's try that. So here's my fluorescent blue. Did I mix it up with? I think I mixed it up with white, right? Let's see how that looks. Yep, a little bit too dark, so I need to add a little bit of white. All right. So everything's from scratch, guys. I'm like mixing up all these colors as best as possible, to try to match the image. So that's why this is feels like a slow process, but there's a purpose, right? Okay, so this is a little bit too light, but I'll do the lightest layer of water with this color. So that probably this part. It might need to be darkened a little bit. Actually, now that I'm looking at this last reflection, it has a hint of purple. So guess what, Johanna? There is a little bit of purple in my image. Not a lot, but there is, and I'll probably add it. I have to make the purple with red and blue. So I'll add a tiny bit of red to this blue, and hopefully I can make... this red is very powerful. Okay, so... wow. Okay, so this is more like it. This is a blue with a hint of purple. That's this reflection. I did skip a little bit because I had mixed that color, but let me Let me fill out as much as possible from this. Yep, right here. It's like blue with a hint of purple. Okay, now let me fill this part out, which is what was my original. I was supposed to do that first, but the color I mixed looked more like it would work for this layer or this section. So let's go back to that. So right now it's just filling in. There you go. This is, let's see. Okay. All right, so right here. All right, let's just go ahead and apply that. The water just kind of seems to get lighter. I'm looking at my drawing here, guys, and it looks like that purple part extends actually higher, so let me do that. Right here. It extends higher. Okay, this part where they meet, it's gonna be like a mini, like the smaller wave on the front. There you go. You can see the purple over there, yeah. My favorite purple. There you go, Johanna. There is a little bit of purple, and actually this is a reflection of the sky. Yeah. Well, it's weird because from the picture, it's like the sand is like coming up. It's like higher ground. So maybe that's why there's a reflection. Very interesting. I don't know why it would pick up purple, but it's there. It looks really nice, by the way. That purple on the picture. Okay, this is getting too dark. All right, so I have to fill this white. Well, this is the wave. Let's see. Elizabeth Gonzalez. Hola, Elizabeth. Saludos. Elizabeth has joined us. Bienvenida, Elizabeth, to our painting class. Hopefully you guys can send me pictures of your landscape, you know, of your painting. If you're doing, you know, whatever you're doing, even if it's different, you know, like I tell people, hey, just join along, maybe work on your own stuff, you know, and if you want to use our ideas, that's fine, you know. Everyone is, I encourage in creativity, individual creativity, you know. Okay, so let's see, time to fill this out. Yep. Just fill out the water. There you go. The white wave, I'm gonna paint it over after it dries. That's what I'm gonna do. Just made that, what do we call that, executive decision. We'll see if it works, right? Yeah, it needs to dry because last time I painted over the wet and it picked up. It was like I was erasing instead of painting. Okay, so there you go. Not bad. I just need those highlights of splashing water. One thing I am going to remove is this little guy, this little floater. You can see it there yet? I'm gonna remove that guy. That guy is like, if you go to swim like that, you're not supposed to swim past that. That's for like the lifeguards. I mean, that's my understanding from like being a child, like growing up in Long Beach. Like, you were never supposed to swim past that floater. So that floater's gonna be gone right here in our painting, right? Because it's gonna look odd, like people are not gonna know what that is, you know. I just don't want it there. So in my painting, you can swim all the way over there, but only in my painting. I don't even know sharks coming down this far. I think one time I saw like they said it was a whale, and the lifeguard was kind of following it because he didn't know if the fin was like a shark. But after he found out it was a whale, he left it alone. It was like the fin of a whale you could see. There's actually video on YouTube about that, or like, you know, this was several years ago. So shout out to Elizabeth Gonzalez. Saludos, Elizabeth. Johanna. Shout out to Johanna. Jennifer Malo has joined us. She said hi. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome back. Thank you, Johanna, for tagging all these folks so they can see the video. Acrylic on colors, yes. You can use watercolors, color pencils. Richard Shumitsu is watching us. We have 8 likes and hugs and all that good stuff. We appreciate that. Okay, so I'm gonna do the sand. What color you guys would use? Let's point the camera here. Type on there, those of you that are. I saw a dolphin swim near the shore in Long Beach. You know, that's cool. Like, I mean, after all of this, they're ocean, right? The animals. So it's just kind of odd because we have the, you know, the break wall or the water. What is it? The water. There's a wall, right? You can't really see it here, but farther back there, there's a wall that blocks the waves. And, you know, but the animals, they are able to come over here. I just hope they don't get trapped and find their way. Anyway, so what color would you mix this sand? I'm thinking it's like a beige, right? Like maybe a little bit of white with brown, maybe. But it's like if this was coffee, it wouldn't be a strong coffee, right? It's more like a vanilla, cocoa, hot chocolate kind of thing, like white vanilla, or, you know, it's like it's not gonna, you know, brown. Maybe think about, I don't know if you can see, but I see a little bit of yellow, a little bit of brown, a little bit of white. So we're gonna use those colors. What would you use, Yara? No? So let's try a little bit of white. Alright, here's our white. Everything's from scratch, guys. You know, one of the things I mean, except if you're using watercolor, you have to be a little more planning ahead, right? Because remember, watercolor, there's no white. If this was watercolor, that's it. I don't have room for white. The white is the white of the paper. So that's something you want to keep in mind if you're using watercolor. If you're using acrylic, you can just let it dry and paint with white right over it. Okay, so that's the only difference, guys. Well, that's one of the big differences. All right, so I said yellow, right? So let me get the yellow paint. All right, let's get a little bit of yellow. I have this half a gallon here. We still have plenty of yellow here. Oh man, I just want a little bit. Maybe I should. I don't want to use I don't want to waste that much paint. Only what's necessary. Okay, so can you point over here maybe so people can see what the colors I'm mixing? See, this brush has a little bit of yellow, so I'm just gonna mix it in. And already I can see it kind of matches that a little bit, right? I kind of feel like that's, let's see how it looks on the canvas. It's a little bit too bright. I just need it to be, okay, so apparently that wasn't enough paint. So I need white. Okay, there you go. Let's see, put a little bit of water. A little bit of yellow. Maybe a little bit of brown, a tiny bit. Let's see if I have a brown. Yeah, I have this house paint that's a bird paint, right? Let's see what happens. Color sample. I just need a tiny bit, like just a little. You see this color? This is kind of like a almond brown. But I just need a tiny bit and see what happens. There you go. Let's see. Let me mix this up. Not bad. Actually, this is pretty good. Okay. So let me put this paper this way. And yep, this is it right here. This is our sand. The drawing got erased. The drawing got erased from the footprints. So I'm gonna. Oh, okay. If I'm stretching the paint, I can see the drawing. So I'll do that. Not bad. It's like a yellow. It's like white with a hint of yellow. All right, so this is the sand part, and I probably have to bring it higher, right? Yep. I'm gonna cover a little bit of that purple. Sorry guys, it's just, that purple's still there. I just have to go higher because of the composition, right? It's kind of getting mixed in with the purple, and that's not good. I should have let it dry, but it's kind of dried, or dry for the most part. No worries. We'll do another layer if we need to, but we do need to fill in as much as possible. All right, let's see. I have several folks. One of the things about doing this live thing is that we get our notifications, right? So that's good. All right, let's see. All right, not bad. All right, for a first layer, so let me turn the painting so you can see what it looks like as a first layer. For the most part, let's point that towards the camera. So you can see the colors kind of match. Shout out to Jackson, El Aguas Oficial, has just joined us. A dibujar, Jackson. A dibujar. Agarra tus colores, tus crayolas, y a dibujar. Can you see this part in the video or not really? Barely? What if I put it at this angle? No? How about now? Yeah, can you see that a little better? Kinda. Just say yes or no. Alright. So my poor daughter, right? I have her making decisions as a videographer. All right, so there you go. I'll let you see that for a little bit more. Maybe while that dries up, I can work on the drying of the island. Let's do that. But you know what? Before I take it out, I want you to see the drawing, right? So here, I mean the picture. Here's the picture. Right? Here's the picture. Right? Now I'm gonna take off the picture, take away the picture. You can see the painting. You know, it's similar, except for the island is larger. It kind of looks like a city, huh? Like this buildings, you know. Well, let's see what happens. So I'm gonna color in that building. I kind of feel like I want to do another layer here. It looks kind of like almost white, huh? Like this part looks very white. So I do want to add another layer. See, the problem is once I start coloring the buildings or the structures, it's gonna be hard to give it a background, right? And right now this looks very close to white. This looks very close to white. So I'm gonna darken this. Yeah, this is a tough decision, guys, because I do like this white. All right, I'm gonna do one layer. Let me find my watercolor brush I had last time. Oh, yeah, right here. So this time I'm gonna use that blue and white. All right, so I'm gonna mix up a little bit of white and that fluorescent blue. All right, let's see how that works. Too dark? No, not too dark. Okay. I need to water it down because if I'm gonna paint over the buildings, it's gonna take over. Okay, this is kind of good. I mean, it's gonna cover the structures if I. There you go. See, it's covering, so I need to lighten it up with water so I can see. Okay, you see it did raise the drying, and that's not good. So before it dries up. See, I like that for a background, but I'm gonna have a problem with my building. So you just wipe it off before it dries. Save your building. There you go. So you saw there's tricks, right? Let me get a clean water. All right. So let me. So let's try. Okay, I'll just get as close as possible to the bottom of the you know, where the sky meets the island. Okay, so I'm just kind of filling out. Okay, this is working out. There you go. There you go. Not bad. Okay. I can still see the drying, and that's what I wanted to preserve my drying. There you go. Wanted to preserve my drying. Remember last time I told you to do a dark layer or a dark thing on the top? So I'm emphasizing my dark. See, now I'm darkening the top part, and it's making everything I painted is making it look lighter. You know, it's like I'm adding white here without even doing so, just because I have darker blue over here. That's the reflection of, you know, or the how light affects colors, you know, or colors affect their own, you know, their friends or their neighbors. Kind of like society, right? You know, your actions affect those around you, you know. So over here with color, you know, one color affects the look of the other one. That's light, color theory, and light theory. Light theory is for reflections. Okay, how's that looking, Yaren? What do you think? Pretty good? Looking so good. Thank you, Johanna. Hola, Jackson. Hola, ¿cómo estado? Yo he estado muy bien, Jackson. Very good. Very good. It's looking so good, huh? It's pretty good, pretty interesting. Wow. If this is dried, let me touch it a little bit. I can probably add the waves. I'll probably add the waves, right? Here's another thing I can add. So I'm looking at this picture, and I have like this brown paint. Yep, and I can use probably a small brush. Let me see. Maybe a beat up brush that's small. Where's a beat up brush when you need one, right? Always complaining about the beat up brushes. Now I need one, right? Well, okay, here you go. This brush has like this. These hairs are like kind of pretty worn and stiff, so I'll use that as let's try this. I'm gonna try to paint the base of. Okay, let's see how that looks. Yeah, this part right here. This is the rock. Remember, this island's a man-made island, and it's a rock foundation. So everything's made with like just rocks. The way they made this island is they just carry rocks over there, probably sand and rocks. You know, they build it up. You know, so this is what. Okay, not bad. If you look at the image, that rock foundation, it's kind of like a darker version of the sand, the color. If you blur your eyes, you can see that right there, Yara, maybe. So if you blur your eyes, that rock foundation or the bottom of the island, it's kind of like a similar color of the sand, but a little bit darker, right? So that's kind of what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so remember those doodles we did last time? So that's gonna be that, just kind of filling it out, you know, like my drawing's lost for that, but it doesn't matter. I just wanted to represent where the maybe those doodles will, or those that texture. Maybe I'll add that for my second layer. Notice my technique, right? I don't want it to look, this part, I don't want it to look smooth because it's rocks that I'm trying to represent, right? It's rocks, right? You know, so if I smooth that out, it's gonna look different. You know, I want to give you that feeling of texture. That's why this brush is helping me. Okay, and you also want to always keep looking at your source. All right. Well, it's not exactly the same color, very similar. So maybe my second layer will adjust the. Okay, not bad. Not bad. All right. What do you guys think over there? Looking so good. Thank you, Johanna. Elizabeth, saludos, Johanna, Jackson, and let's see, there's more folks. Jennifer Malo, saludos, shout out. Christina Elaine Vasquez, shout out. And Richard Shumitsu. All right, you guys, thank you guys for watching. This is from Luna Cultural Alliance of Long Beach. Also Art, Music, and Culture. So I got about another 40 minutes to keep painting. So it looks like we're gonna do a lot of progress today, and that's a good thing. That is definitely a good thing. What do you think, Yaren? How's this looking? Not bad, huh? All right, so let me see. So this, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna start doing the vegetation. There's just basically a bunch of green trees and palm trees, actually, trees and palm trees. All right. So let's see. Let me start mixing the green. All right. Okay, so I'm mixing a green, kind of like this this fluorescent green with a little bit of dark blue and a touch of yellow, and it's giving me this green. This green it's got a funny name, and it's got a funny name in oils. I don't know if they still use it. Forgot the name of this green. Anyway, so this green is like it's like a dark green. I just mixed it up. This is gonna be the bottom part of where the vegetation, the bottom part of the vegetation. Okay, so everywhere there's vegetation, we're gonna use this green. This green is different than that one. Add purple. Yes, Johanna. Well, Johanna loves purple. We'll definitely add more purple for our second layer. But you know what? This island at night has all the colors, especially when it's a full moon. When there's a full moon right above it, the colors reflect like long streams of light into the ocean. So that's something I want to do in the future. The picture I'm going to post tonight of the night version of this doesn't really show that. It doesn't show the reflection on the ocean because it's a dark night, but it shows the colors kind of like illuminating the island. It looks really cool. I actually have one that's reflecting it's like a rainbow reflection, which is really cool. I have an image I took a long time ago with my phone, but I want to capture that same image with the camera with better resolution. All right, so right now I'm just here. Let me use a smaller brush for those. Let me see, for those trees. Oh man, when I clean up, I'm gonna take a long time because I'm using a whole variety of brushes. But if you have brushes, don't be afraid to use them. Because that's how you find out what works better for you, right? Like, don't just use the same brush for everything. Don't be afraid to use your brushes. That's one thing that I really recommend. Use them all, and that's how you'll get the feel for which brushes work better for different. There you go. So look at that. That's really cool. I don't know if you can see that on the camera over there, but these are those palm trees, and I'm just kind of touching it up with this brush. I'm just actually just touching up the top part of the palm tree, and it's starting to look really cool. Now I've already committed the green, so as far as my background sky, that's it. There's no more like adding blue. It's gonna look spotty or more botchy and like really spotty. It already looks like that a little bit, but it kind of feels like it's the sky. So it kind of it makes you think it's part of the shapes in the sky, which our reference doesn't have any sky, not any sky, any clouds. There's absent. That's why it's so blue, because there's no clouds. I didn't really like that about that picture, but I do like the vibrant colors. But you know what? This blue and this spottiness, it makes it look like there's a little bit of clouds. That's one of the advantages of painting, and some things look better than the actual picture. You leave it alone, you make it work. Make the painting work for you. You know what's cool about painting? That like my mind is at peace right now. Like earlier I was really bummed out. I wasn't even gonna do the class. I was really bummed out. All this horrible, bad things was being done, and I'm like, you know what? I gotta do this. What am I gonna do? Stay home and just like it's that's what I wanted to do. But I got the courage, and I'm like, it's gonna be good for me. It's gonna be good for people. And remember, the video stays on so people can revisit. So the benefits of this video are going to be go beyond today, right? It's like for as long as YouTube. This is our Facebook Live, but I have a YouTube channel, Art, Music, and Culture. If you want to check that out, I do keep the videos there as well, because people can see them in various parts of the world there if they want to. So that positive energy is flowing through the virtual. What do we call it? The interweb. Back in the day, they used to call it the World Wide Web. Remember when American Line came on? AOL. Those of you folks that know what I'm talking about. Instant Messenger, or what was it called? They used to say the World Wide Web. Right now it's like we don't even call it that. We just call it Facebook, Twitter. What do the kids call it? TikTok or TikTok? TikTok. So TikTok's the new thing, right? All right. So, what do you guys think over there? How's that island looking? Any comments? At purple. Oh yes. We'll add purple, Johanna. We definitely have purple down here, and we'll touch it back up. So let's see. I kind of feel like, okay, so man, there's so many brushes I'm using, but you know what? It's all good. I just need to clean one right now so I can draw. Yep, let me see. Let me clean this one up. Okay, I'm gonna draw the. I feel. Tell me if you see it. This part of the structure, it looks like that color, at least very close to it, doesn't it? Okay, so I'll leave that here, and I'm just gonna use, since I still have that color on the palette, I'm going to use that to fill that out. Boom, right here. You can probably see that. So that's one of the things that you want to always use up the colors you have made, because they're not gonna look the same if you make them again. So you want to see where else you can apply them. So that's in this structure. I'm kind of resting my hand here, but I'm trying not to damage it. It's already dry, so it's cool if I do it a little bit, but I gotta remember that, you know. So now I'm like coloring the top of the, there's a comment. Looks good so far. What is the brown tan going to be? The brown tan going to be. Do you understand, Yadi? Oh, you mean like this one? Yeah. Okay. Yadi's point. Oh yes, this is the rocky part. So actually, I have to. That's not gonna be the ultimate color. I had to. Now that I'm looking at it, it's not even like close to what I wanted to show. So I'm probably gonna make it darker. So some of this tan thing is gonna look through, but not as much. I'm gonna actually add a darker layer on the bottom. It's the rocky. What is it? The rocky shore, or of the island. So that's what that is, Johanna. But it's gonna change. It's definitely going to change because it's too bright, right? But I can leave some of those colors coming out, but not everything. So as a first layer, I can get away with it because it won't look like that. Ultimately. In other words, trial and error, experimentation, right? Let's see. So this tower right here has a highlight of this yellow tan, right? Another comment. Oh, the rocky area. Got it. Thanks. Yeah, it's the rocky area. Yep. And notice how this is smaller in comparison to this. I mean, obviously I'm painting at a larger scale, but what I mean is like the ratio of expansion is bigger here. Like I actually made it bigger than it should, and even then it's still like a challenging. Efren, did you sketch it using lead pencil or pastel pencil? Lead pencil. Lead pencil is better. Pastel pencil, it would probably. Pastel pencil, you can't really erase as much, and I mean that would give you a different look, more you would definitely get more texture. I like pencil as a sketch because you can actually cover it up faster. Like if you make a mistake on the drawing, you can paint over it with paint. So. But that would definitely change the outlook, like as far as like the energy. The pastel would probably feel more of more energy, like more texture. Let's just say more texture, But you know what? If you have it, and you haven't used it, it's a good chance to experiment. All right, so there's a structure here, so I'm just gonna color the highlight. There you go. Let's see. Yep. So I'm actually feeling pretty good about this painting overall. I wasn't expecting for it to look like this advanced in regards to like coloring, like it seems that I'm already like advancing, like coloring more than I thought I would. At first I just felt like I'm just talking and too much talk and no paint. But it's working out, like it's working out. Like I feel like I'm more than halfway done, for sure. For sure. Okay, so let me make this line straighter. There we go. Okay. All right, what do you guys think, huh? What do you think, Yadin? She's just shaking her head like, yep, it's all good. Okay, this structure here is right there, and it's like, you know what, Johanna? Maybe I'll make that purple because it's like a shadow part. This brush is too big, but let me see. Let me add a little bit of red to this blue. Wow, this red is good, but super powerful. You know, if you want to make purple, it's blue and red, but go easy on the red because it will take over big time, really fast. Okay, not bad. So that wall. Okay, I'll leave it purple as a first layer, and some of it will stay. How does it look from over there? Yeah, it's too. Okay, I feel like it's more of a grayish. Yeah, it's more like of a grayish bluish, huh? But let me add a little bit of this fluorescent blue. Yeah, mixing colors is not the easiest thing, you know. Okay, there you go. This is probably more like it. It's like blue purple, like purple, but more on the blue side. Yep. Maybe this guy the same. I'm not too sure, but let me blur my eyes and see. Okay. Make this the shape right here. Okay, now it's making sense. I don't know why I'm using this big brush. I just thought it would kind of help me with the shape, but it's actually making it more difficult. So let me take off some of this paint. Okay. Switch to a smaller brush and I can blend or actually follow the drawing easier. I might darken it later, but we'll see. Let me. Probably got to stop at some point because I don't want to ruin the drawing. But I feel like I still need to color some of these shapes. Yep, right here. All right, how do you take the paint off? With dry brush or wet brush? You probably want to do it with dry brush. Like if you put the wrong paint, dry your brush and use it like as a scooper, like just kind of, you know, like when you're mopping and you just use a dry mop to pick up more water. The same idea. As long as the paint is not completely dried, you can still move it. You know, that's one of the things, and that's true of watercolor too. Very true of watercolor. In fact, you know, with acrylic you can still do it, but yeah, acrylic dries faster than like anything, you know, and that's one of the challenges with acrylic. But Like this paint, I was able to pick it up a little bit with the dry or a dry brush. Yeah, yeah. If you add a wet brush, it just spreads around and it's harder to contain, I guess. So let's see what happens if I add this highlights to the rock. Okay, not bad. Okay, I'm not gonna add too many. Just a few. I'll probably add different colors too. How does it look from over there, Yara? I'm painting backwards and that's okay because I'm forcing myself to just look at the shapes. Okay, so I kind of feel like this color is similar to that, so I'm using that same color to spread those highlights of like rocky. I mean, if we painted every single rock, man, that would be a tough job. In fact, what I can do is use the hints of that purple and just kind of mix it up with this, and it'll make it seem like there's dark sides of the rock. See, I'm not being specific. I'm just kind of blurring my eyes. And okay, so let's see. Okay, so I don't know. I created this red. I don't even need a red, so I have to erase it. All right, Johanna's saying, I'm studying watercolor intensely now. We use dry brush if the area is still wet. Yeah, if the area is still wet, use dry brush to pick up the watercolor. That's true. The area is dry, then we use scrub. Yeah, basically, if it's wet, you can wet the paper because watercolor is on paper, right? So basically, you use, if you want to erase. There's never such thing as 100% erasing in watercolor, but if you use a wet brush to remove dry paint, you can kind of soak in a little bit, put water on the paper and then it'll loosen up some of the paint and you can pick up some of it up. Not a lot. There's actually a masking liquid for watercolor and you preserve your whites. Man, I haven't done watercolor in a while, but yeah, I that might be the next thing, Anyways, that's a great point, Johanna. Thank you. The great technique. In fact, well, you know what? I gotta finish coloring in the structure here. So let me dry my brush a little bit and just spread this color around. Oh, where's my source? I removed it. You always want to be looking at your source. See, like right here, the paint dried and it created this texture. But you know what? It's all good. It's all good, man. Like that TV show. It's all good, man. It's very entertaining. Okay. Not bad, huh? Okay, so there's this, let me see, this structure, there's another, some of these areas are going to be darker. Okay, so that's just what it is. But I got to get like a first layer. So these shapes right here, they're like blue, purple kind of, they're going to be darker in reality, like a lot darker. All right, they're gonna be a lot darker than. But this is our first layer for our island. Okay, let's kind of take a look at what we have. All right, so let's see. Let's see what we have here. Not bad, huh? Not bad. Not bad. Life is good with cow. Join the alliance. May the cow force be with you. Yep, that's like like I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but it's like the alliance, right? Like join the alliance, like you know, the alliance, right? Like an alliance, like a partnership, right? Joining our forces for the greater good. You know what, guys? We have about 30 more minutes. So now that I spent a lot of the time talking and this part dried up, I'm gonna make an attempt at creating the waves. Maybe at least the partly. But you can see it's looking pretty good, huh? Not too shabby. I don't like that this is too bright. It makes it seem like there's a beach shore over here, right, Daddy? But it kind of is, right? Like if you're standing over here, the water's coming at you, so it's like that's like your little bit of shore, you know. Except we're over here. Anyways, should I put the? Yeah, why not, right? Let me add the. This is what's gonna be cool. Notice how my wave looks weird, right? With that green. Just that green alone is weird. So I'm gonna find a nice brush that's gonna give me, yeah, maybe, I want the worst brush in this bundle. Maybe a couple of them. I don't know. If I mess up, then I'll just have to wait and, you know, paint over and do it again. This is gonna be a challenge. So this is the image. I'm gonna try to do those waves with just like putting straight up white paint. Because look, this white is just, it looks as white as the edge of the paper, right? Ideally, you never want to use white completely, but we'll try it, you know, we'll try and see what happens. Because, or maybe I should add you know, we should probably add a little hint of blue, right? Because I kind of see, now that I'm seeing it, it's, yeah, just a tiny bit of that blue. Just a tiny bit, so it's not just plain white. Yeah, there you go. Okay, now, okay, sorry guys, you're not going to be able to see my picture because I need the space to paint. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so this is a house painting brush. But I kind of like the texture it has. So okay, so I don't want to add too much water. So it's gonna, let's see. All right, just a nice house painting brush. Look at that. It's kind of making it look like a wave. Yeah, I can get up and paint from the top. Now that I found so I want that texture. Okay, so while I'm at it, I'm gonna do this. not bad, not bad. When they got mixed up with the purple, but it's all right. I know Johanna's gonna like that part. All right, so I'm using the texture of the brush to create this sort of like illusion of waves splashing. Okay. Okay, let me add a little bit of blue. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop before I ruin this. Okay, let's see how that looks. Wow, I feel like this needs a little more. All right, I guess I can consider this my first attempt at making the waves. It's quite a challenge to do that. Jennifer commented. Okay, so shout out to people that are joining us. Let's see, we have Johanna. Okay, let's see. Elizabeth Gonzalez, Jackson Padilla, Christina Elaine Vasquez, Richard Shumitsu, and Jennifer Malo. Thank you guys for joining us. I hope you guys are enjoying this class. One of the things I didn't mention is I have a Venmo account if you guys want to donate here. Put the camera up here. So this is our 11th class, and we painted 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with the other drawing, 10, 12. We're probably done like 12 assignments altogether. These are some of the prior paintings. Here's my Venmo if you guys want to donate. It's not required, but if you can, that's appreciated. So just at Efren Luna, my name, right? Efren Luna. So this is the picture, right? We're working on, right? And let me pick up the painting so you can see at a proper angle. Can you see that? I think I'm gonna take a break here, guys. I'm gonna just show you guys this before I call it quits, and just kind of have you look at it. You see, it's not finished by any means. It's got a lot of work to go, but I think it's looking pretty good, right? Generally speaking. What do you think, Jared? Does it look similar? It's not perfect, right? There's a lot more to go, but looking pretty good, huh? I did make the island bigger than normal. Now that I'm looking at the image, the green part of the wave, I need to blend it down lower. So in fact, I'll probably do that right now before I forget. What do you guys think? ¿Qué opina Elizabeth? you're painting along, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying the class, painting along. Share the video. It'll be here to review later. Okay, so put the camera down, Mama. So I'm gonna fix this wave a little bit. I don't know if "fix" is the right word, but I'm gonna work on it a little more. So let's see. Okay, so I want to cover some of that. There you go. I'm very nervous doing this. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it now. I'm not sure if it made it better. Okay. Oh, you know what I can do? There you go. Well, I still have this green. Okay. One thing you want to do when you're touching things up, you want to look at your reference, because then you'll tend to make things up on your own. But if you look at your reference, it'll keep you in check, like it'll keep you focused on things that are like more real, you know? So I'm just giving a touch of this green algae, or you know, this water. All right, I think I'm gonna stop there. I don't know if I hope that didn't ruin it. No, it's still good. It's all good. In fact, we can touch it up a little more. And there's always a judgment call, right? Like on things like this. So what do you guys think? It's getting there, huh? It's getting there. So keep painting, guys. You can add the footprints of the sand. You know, you see there's footprints on the picture, right? There's footprints. Like the sand has markings. I'm gonna do all that texture, you know, but that's coming up maybe in the next lesson. I feel like I may. You know what, I'm gonna do one more lesson, like live on this, and then if I'm not done, I'm gonna touch it up on my own. But right now I feel like I'm 60, 70, maybe 70% done, and maybe on the next lesson I'll be like 80 to 90, maybe 95% done in the next week, and whatever, you know, small percentage I need to finish, I can do on my own, you know. Feel free to keep working on this today. Feel free to keep working on this, you know, tomorrow or the next day, because you can revisit the video, right? Again, follow us on Facebook. If you haven't, press like or follow Cultural Alliance for Long Beach, Art, Music, and Culture on Facebook. And we're also on Instagram for Calb is Calb Arts. CALB AART on Instagram, and then Art, Music, and Culture. So it's at Art, Music, and Culture all together. The word "and" Art, Music, and Culture Instagram. I have a YouTube, Art, Music, and Culture on YouTube. You can see this videos there too, and also other documentaries for prior art exhibitions and things like that. Anyways, share the link, donate if you can. Efren Luna, Venmo. You know, like I said, this is all volunteering. Enjoy it. Oh, one more thing before I forget. Tomorrow is, or every Saturday, 12 p.m. I do the live guided music class. So if you want to learn a little bit about music, or you want to practice along, my knowledge is only like beginning to intermediate kind of thing, and I'm helping people practice their violin piano, and guitar. Okay, so if you want to, some assignments for practice, tomorrow we'll be talking about that. About 12 p.m. Sometimes I start at 1, but it's always between 12 and 2. And I usually do about 40 minutes to an hour of that. So I'm going to take a stop or take a break with this painting for now, guys. And, just show you the progress that we have here. Let me just shout out to all you guys before I forget. One more time. Shout out to everyone that's watching us live. Let's see. Johanna Bravo, thank you, Efren Luna. Gracias, Johanna. Life is good with Cal. Yes, you may join Cultural Alliance of Long Beach. If you're a student, it's $25 for your membership. And normally you can have an art exhibition here. Seniors and students are $25 to join Cal for a yearly membership. Right now, we're not meeting in person until we're clear from the city. We have to follow the orders, so keep tuned until that. But you can still be a member if you want to. Those are the rates. 25 yearly memberships for students and seniors. Regular folks are $50 for a year. Groups are $100. Families are $75. And anything else that you want to donate, you can message us. If you want to donate material, give a donation to Cal. We can take a check or cash. We can give you a receipt, but we have to just message us about that. If you want to donate to my personal thing for teaching the art, you're welcome to do so. That's all volunteer. Anyways, I think that's it for today, guys. My name is Efren Luna with the Cultural Alliance of Long Beach and also with Art, Music, and Culture. And as always, my advice is take care of yourselves, take care of your family, take care of your friends, take care of your community, and always share the love. All right? Have a great day. Have a great weekend. See you next time.